I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, and welcome to Superb Owl Sunday.
Superb Owl?
It's the Superb Owl Sunday.
Oh, I love owls.
Hoot, hoot.
Hoot, hoot, toot,
Who
toot.
don't?
Who don't love owls?
And who doesn't love a superb owl? I know a lot of MAGA people who don't. They just really don't want to be having anything to do with any sort of halftime thing. So dumb. It's so dumb.
So blatantly
it's
racist.
So dumb. I know. Ugh.
Anyway, more to follow.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Yieldy Out Chicago. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. The sun is really shining. It's a little cold.
It feels nice, though.
It's so pretty out, I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's a really clear day. It looks kind of great. The snow last night, it was falling.
It was falling.
It was really beautiful.
And we got out of the venue we were in late night, and there it was. Surprise.
There we go. It was going down. There we go. Hey, we've got a great show for you today. In Collaboration Theater's Emmy Award-winning Trial in the Delta, The Murder of Emmett Till, Collaboration has transformed the original long-buried trial transcript into a gripping, immersive theatrical experience that places the audience face-to-face with the people whose testimony shaped the civil rights movement. We are going to be speaking with Anthony Mosley, co-director of Trial in the Delta and artistic director for Collaboration, and executive director Darlene Jackson. We're going to be chatting with them at the top of the second hour. And the Illinois primaries are coming up in about 5 weeks. Isn't it on St. Patrick's Day, the 17th? I believe it is.
I'm not sure.
I think so, but it's coming up. And one of the biggest races is to represent the Illinois 9th in Congress. Joining us this hour is Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss, who is vying for the seat. I'm very excited about having him back on the show. We had him on when he was
running for governor.
Several
years back.
Yes. So we can't wait to see what he has to say as he's trying to earn our votes for the primary. And of course, we would love to hear from you. You know, you can give us a call or a text at 773-763-9278. The number again is 773-763-9278. Of course, you can listen to us live every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central on 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com, or you can watch the live video stream on WCPT Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page. Give us a call. Give us a text. Watch us. Love us. We love you. How are you doing, Ellen?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Yeah?
I have had a busy week. I have a dear friend, my friend Alan, is in from the San Diego area celebrating his 75th birthday.
Come on, Alan.
So he's been in town since Tuesday, and he loves music and culture and food, so we have been making the rounds. You know how it is, Scott, when you do a lot of entertaining of out-of-town people, that you go and do things that are right under your nose that you've been meaning to do for 5 or 10 years, like get back to the Green Mill, for example.
Yeah.
I was in there going, oh my God, when was the last time we were here? And it's like, years, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we take for granted the things that are right under our nose that they'll be there. Well, you can always go there. But we went to the Sunwa barbecue, which we love.
I love Sunwa.
Had a Peking duck. We on Thursday night we went to the Lyric Opera and saw the wonderful Renee Fleming. She did a show called Voice of Nature. The Anthropocene, I think that's how you pronounce it. And it was National Geographic did a beautiful video in the background of nature. And she started out by saying, it doesn't seem like people care enough about nature these days. So I knew exactly what she was talking about. And it was so moving. You just can't imagine how moving it was. I didn't know what to expect, but her voice is one of the greatest voices. And she sang different songs. She sang like lyrics to music that just made sense. One thing was a poem by someone named Jane Hirschfield. It's called Everything Ends. And one of the lyrics is, everything ends, even pain, even sorrow. And even those simple words just struck me because a lot of people have pain, a lot of people have sorrow. And
Heck yeah.
Good to remember that everything ends, but even the things that go along with the sadness ends too. So she just was great. And then the second act She did some sing-alongs, actually. We could have danced all night.
Oh, all right.
And she did Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. And there were beautiful voices all around. And she encouraged everybody to sing the chorus of Hallelujah. It was just, and there was another interesting.
I'm trying to picture, so was it in her, opera voice? If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? Because
it was like almost a pop.
No, for Hallelujah,
Yeah, for
in
Hallelujah.
particular, just because so she brought it down. She wasn't singing up here and everything.
No, it was more of a more very accessible
All right.
version, and we
Cool,
sang
cool.
the chorus. It was fantastic.
Love it.
Her pianist was a man named Einan Barnaton. I don't know where he's from, but Scott was amazing. He did a couple numbers on his own. But I just loved her. I loved her. I didn't know much about her other than she's great. And I took the opportunity to go since it was one night only. And like I said, bring our friend Alan. And it just, wow, you have these experiences in Chicago and you're just like, this is why I can never leave the city. This is why people are flocking to the city.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
So we did that. And last night we went and celebrated Alan's birthday at a fabulous Italian restaurant called Mirabella. It's on Addison by the Expressway. It was Mirabelle German restaurant for many years. And several years ago, it got taken over by Gene and Giorgetti chef, who knows how to make steak and knows how to make Italian food. So we had a fabulous dinner. Then we went over to Rose's because we couldn't have enough just at dinner, where we saw our friend Billy Branch playing till the wee hours of the morning.
Right on. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, everybody is concerned about what's going on, obviously, in the world, because every day there's more to be concerned about. But if you go out and we've talked about community, support the arts, support the restaurants, go to the Green Mill, go to Rose's, these independently owned venues, you'll feel good. You'll feel very good.
Yeah. It's all about being out and about.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Girl, I'm fine. There's the angel of sickness has flown over the
Sorry
Duff Die
to hear
home.
that.
Yeah, I had cooties last week. Now it's Jerry's turn for cooties this week. It has been a little trying, But we're muddling through. We were supposed to go to Steppenwolf last night for the opening of the Dance of Death, a little Strindberg situation, but due to plumbing issues, we opted out.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes. So, it's been kind of like a chill week for me. I'm getting ready. I'm finally going on vacation.
I'm so happy for
I'm
you.
so excited. And I went... I took my friend that I'm going with. I'm like, hey, we went and got pedicures. Yesterday, there's nothing better. I love a pedicure. They're just so great.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
I know, they're awesome. So we went and we got pedis at this place that we usually go to, and the owner and all the staff there are just fantastic, and they're really, really friendly. They're also very, very curt. They will let you know if you are doing something wrong with your toes or whatever it is. But it was great, and they're just sitting there going how long have you guys? We're talking about, we're getting our nails done. We're going to Mexico, just to have some time away. And she's like, oh my gosh, well, is it just the two? Who all is going? It's like, oh, it's just the two of us. And
you're trying to figure out your relationship, or no?
No, I don't think they're digging. I mean,
I just wondered what you.
I mean, I had this thought. I have I'm gay. Der Doy. You just hear me speak. I'm gay. No, but she was just so it's just assumed that it was going to be a larger group of people. And not just the two of us. And oh, how long have you known each other? And I went, oh my God, we've known each other for 30 years.
It happens when you age.
I know, but
people
that
a long time.
Yeah, but if you're lucky enough that they're still in your life in
Yes.
such a way, in such a everyday kind of way, that's
that's
nothing to
great.
sneeze at.
No.
So it was one of those things where she was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Yeah." We met waiting tables at Tucci Benucci in the Bloomingdale's building.
Go there.
Yeah, that was me. We were trucking away.
Look at you now, going on vacation all these years
We've
later.
always been going on vacation. We're great travel buddies. We vacation. I think that is one of the biggest things, is trying to find somebody that you can travel with really well.
I have a couple of friends that because Kathy doesn't always go on the blues cruise, for example, or stay in New Orleans as long. So I've got some really good.
Well, you got the vibe. For us, it's usually we go to a beach when we travel, so it's kind of all right, let's just go and today are we talking today, or are we just sitting and reading? It's like, okay, great. Like that's just kind of the vibe that we have. So that's good. And then I, was trying to take some time to, little self-care, little tiny moments of like, I got my hair did. And I drove out to, I needed a mall. I needed a mall in my life. Because I'm a kid of the 80s. Like every once, do you ever get this? Did you hang out a lot in malls when you were growing up?
That's where we hung out.
Yeah, at the mall.
We hung out in the mall. That was where we went because we grew up in the suburbs.
Yeah, same. But like,
I can't say that I have any desire to do that.
But don't you never like, does it bring back any sort of like...
Well, the mall, I grew up by Randhurst in Mount Prospect, and they decimated it. So it's kind of sad memories for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, like the mall that I grew up in, like, is basically empty, or I don't know. Probably
where do you find a mall these days?
Well, Old Orchard.
Yeah.
Like that was close enough. But, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to go and just kind of just get excited for the trip coming up. So, just buy a little couple things.
Nice.
Like a little thin sweater because it gets chilly at night.
Yeah.
Get some new drawers. Always start off a trip with new panties. That's always good, don't you think?
I always bring my best.
That's you should.
Go through the drawer, get the ones that don't have any fraying, just in case. Yes.
Yeah. So it was kind of my way to kind of like, oh my gosh, this week has been so freaking weird. I mean, Sunday you had the announcement of the Kennedy Center is shutting down for 2 years. I mean, what's going on with Savannah Guthrie's mom?
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
Like this
for them.
whole thing is just bananas.
I mean, everybody can relate to an older woman, a mother, an aunt being kidnapped, who needs medication. I mean, a poor, innocent, older lady. It breaks everybody's heart, I feel for them. And I'm sure she's feeling, her celebrity had something to do with this, but
100%.
It's the guilt and the sadness combined. I feel really badly.
It's
for her.
just so bananas, bizarro. Like it's
I know.
Weird with that whole thing. So like we're sending like good vibes. Hopefully,
hopefully there's an ending that's going to be positive. But it's just scary when this happens.
Yeah, it's scary. It's strange, and of course, like it's getting national attention because of celebrity. But how often does this happen? Where people don't go. Like it's just that. I mean, so that's been weird. You've got like Ding Dong just doing the most bizarro, rando stuff that's going on. Like,
oh my God.
The whole like, I'm holding money for an infrastructure bill that was already like allocated to doing what you need to do, but you got to name a train station and an airport after me.
Oh, I missed that one. Really?
Oh yeah, he wants them to change Dulles Airport and Penn Station and name it after him.
This is what,
people, what is it going to take
for you to
to understand? Like, it also came out this week that he and his family have made $4 billion in 1 year. $4 billion. How are you doing out there? How are you affording groceries? Earlier this week, I went and I bought 2 frozen pizzas and some toilet paper. It was $35. Like that. I mean, that's cuckoo bananas. But like, folks, what is it going to take? This man is making money hand over fist. They're breaking all of the emoluments clause. He's just like, they don't care. And nobody seems to be really upset about that. Don't really care about that, what's going on here.
Well, as long as they get those illegals out, that's really all they care about.
Yeah, and of course they're going to take them to the Super Bowl. What the heck? What the heck? If ICE is here to get out all of those illegal aliens, that's what their words are. They're dangerous, criminal, illegal aliens. Yeah. You know how many dangerous, criminal, illegal aliens get tickets to the Super Bowl? Like that just always gets me mad. They took my tickets.
They're practicing their intimidation for the midterms.
No, 1,000%. But like, but it doesn't make it just makes zero sense. I'm like, why? They just want to show up just to show up? Or is it because, because Bad Bunny is performing? And it does not make any sense. If their goal is to find the dangerous criminals, how many dangerous criminals do you think go to the Super Bowl?
It's just intimidation.
With $10,000 tickets.
Shame on you, Scott. Shame on you. How many people at the Super Bowl are probably on the Epstein list?
Oh, that's very true. All right.
Murdoch has his own box.
Okay, well then I'm talking about there you go. There are definitely criminals. There are lovely little white collar criminals who are all over the Epstein files and all over and doing stuff. It just doesn't make sense.
It boggles your mind to see Republicans sitting with on their hands on this. It is the powers in their hands. Why wouldn't someone want to be a hero? Because he is so detrimental. Can you imagine if any Democrat in office would do 1/100th of the things that he has said or done? They would be apoplectic. They would be out of their minds.
Yeah.
Out of their minds. But they turn a blind eye to rape, to pedophilia, to lies, to racism, to bigotry. It is disgusting to see that I'm holding everybody responsible that thinks it's okay to have this guy as the leader of the free world. It is on you. If you voted or didn't vote for the Democratic candidate, this is what you have wrought in this country and in this world, and it is disgusting. Mm-hmm. He's a piece of garbage. He is a S stain on democracy and the Constitution.
He is a giant skid mark.
And I just can't speak enough horribleness about him.
Yeah, he sucks.
And when are people going to wake up? People hold these Republicans' feet to the fire. They have fallen down on the job, and the Democrats need to be louder and more voice.
Oh, 100%. Hopefully we'll figure out what's going on. Like, we'll see what Mayor Biss has to say about what he's proposing to, if he be elected into Congress. But
they need to wake up.
People need to they need to wake up. They need to step up and start doing their freaking jobs. That late night racist Truth Social post that came out. Okay, how many Republicans came out against it? 2?
Maybe, yeah.
2 or 3. There are 3 now. And one of them is the only black Republican in the Senate. And none of them came out and again, I only keep this thing handy, the phone and the socials, and especially X or whatever, just to go in and see what's happening. And the way that people are excusing this, it is jaw dropping.
It is.
It is jaw-dropping. And then, of course, dear Leader Ding Dong says, you know what? He's like, I didn't make a mistake. I didn't make, he's not apologizing for it. They took it down.
For anything.
I know, but I'm like,
yeah, they had, on the one of the morning news shows this morning, Face the Nation, they asked the Texas congressman, about it, and he deflected. He talked about it was at the end of a voter fraud video that he sent out. I mean, I didn't.
Which was filled with lies and just filled with lies.
So they just it was at the end. I didn't. It's like, how can you people just let this go? I mean, I really hope that there are extreme repercussions for these Republicans come the midterms. But as we know, and we'll talk about it, he's decided that the Republicans should nationalize the elections.
Oh, dear Lord, yeah, I can't even put that on. This man.
I know, that's why we have to find the joy where we can.
All right, well, right now it's a little hard to do that. Not gonna lie, but maybe we can find a joy in a commercial break right here. But before we go there, this part of Out Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. Looking to purchase a new home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Don, a trucker, 30, married to Mary, a teacher's aide, 29. They got 2 kids and a combined income of $125,000 a year. They called Team Hochberg to secure a mortgage on their first home. David answered all of their questions, explained the funds required for a down payment and closing costs, then introduced them to an experienced realtor. Let's review. David answered Don and Mary's questions, introduced them to a realtor, and helped them secure a mortgage on their new home with a backyard where they can build everlasting memories. If you're purchasing a new home and would like the same outstanding service as Don and Mary, call David now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of WCPT listeners, but he can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Don't take my word for it. Check out Team Hochberg's over 700 5-star Google reviews. That's lower.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1124061. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, there's more Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hey, this is Kathy Richardson, America's sweetheart from Jefferson Starship, and you're listening to Out Chicago
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, just rolling along today on a beautiful Sunday.
Yes.
And hey, tomorrow on Choose Views, Richard Shue will be joined by Dr. Annie Andrews, pediatrician, public health expert, and candidate for U.S. Senate in South Carolina, where she is seeking to unseat Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. Good old ladybug.
Please.
Oh my gosh,
dear
what?
John.
What? Come on, Annie.
Come on, Annie.
Come on, Annie, you got to do this because Ladybug is
Past her prime.
What a piece
She
of
never had any
poop.
prime.
Anyway, also, sorry, we're talking about all these horrible guests. Not the guests, the horrible people that she's going up
Right.
against. Also, Sarah Jones, managing editor and co-publisher at Politicus USA and The Daily, and Robert Pape, professor of political science at the University of Chicago, specializing in international security affairs. Also this week, North Carolina Democratic Party Chair Anderson Clayton, candidate for State Representative Demi Palachek, immigration attorney and candidate for Texas State House Kate Lincoln Goldfish, and Texas State Rep Gene Wu, and Choose Views regulars Kurt Mullett, Karen Byrne, and Michelle Duster. That's Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT, 8:20 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So before we went to break, I'm still reeling about the lack of response from the GOP about the blatant racism.
It's disgusting.
That has been happening, and then to go after. You know, did you watch the opening ceremonies for the Olympics?
Yes.
At all? Apparently on the Canadian feed,
Yeah.
the booing of JD and Usha.
We couldn't hear it on our feed.
We couldn't hear it on our feed too much, but you could kind of hear it a little bit. But apparently in Canada, you could broadcast it was loud and clear.
The looks on their faces were kind of, I could tell that they were, it was weird.
Yeah, because on the world stage, people don't like us. The world
them.
does not. I can't blame them, but
They don't like
But
us.
this is what.
I
Again,
know,
I
it's
still cannot
disgusting.
get
It's
behind. How is it that this party is able to get behind this racist, misogynistic, fill in all the ists and
Yep.
isms,
Yep.
whatever, right
Yep.
behind it? How can they get behind them? And if somebody's so concerned about saving face, like we are not saving face on the world stage, we are alone. We are alone, except for now. Maybe it looks like with Putin.
Yeah.
Like that's about it.
That's about
and
it.
this is who we want to be hanging out with.
So it shows how ruthless they are to get power.
It's just
They are just disgusting. I'm wondering how they're reacting to this. Republicans should take over and federalize elections because they claim to be patriotic and care about the Constitution. It specifically has taken that role away from the executive branch, the handling of elections.
Yep, it's for the states to
But
decide.
are they that desperate and that sick, mentally ill for power that the fact that they're letting this horrible individual, this disgusting rapist, pedophile, run the country, leader of the free world, and turn a blind eye is just, it's pathetic. It's really pathetic.
It's mind-boggling, and then I guess it's like when somebody tells you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
The Maya Angelou thing. But it's the fact that he is taking the office of the presidency and has just like thrown it in the gutter
He's taking
with
advantage.
petty, stupid. Like memes with racist posts that he does all the time.
Yeah.
But this past Friday, it was just like you can't explain it away.
No.
You can't explain it away. Even though they tried to do it like with Carolyn Levitt, that little toad.
Ugh.
Like when is she gonna go away? Like what? Ugh. But when she was saying like it was like the Lion King. They just wanted to show that he was the king of the jungle.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the whole. It was from an earlier video where it's it was taking characters from the Lion King and showing that he is the king of the jungle. But let us remember there are no apes in the Lion King at all. for that. There's Rafiki, who is a baboon. They are and very central to the story. But when it comes to apes, which is what the faces were imposed upon, there is no such thing. And it was the 6th day of Black History Month. Like, come on.
Oh, they hate Black History Month. They hate LGBTQ month. They hate it all. They hate anything that isn't white and male for the most part.
They most certainly do. Why don't we go to the phones? We'd love to hear what you have to say. So give us a call, 773-763-9278. You can also text at that same number, 773-763-9278. Michael O'Connor. Hello, my friend. Welcome to Out Chicago.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me just say good morning to both of you. I saw that depiction of the Obamas, and it simply reminded me of American history during Black History Month. Black History Month started here in Chicago at the Wabash Library, at the Wabash YMCA with Dr. Woodson Carter G. Woodson. For this man to do this, I'm not surprised. Just like Ellen described him, it is true, and I'm reminded now that Fannie Lou Hamer taught me and taught us that if they come for you in the morning and I'm silent, when they come for me, nobody will be there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That is something that should be going through everybody's head.
You know that, right? And it's really ironic because the White House where he sleeps at supposedly was built by enslaved people, enslaved Africans. So for him to do this, and that press secretary, the one with who looks like she has blonde hair, but if you look real good, you'll see the black roots. She, I don't even know what to say except for to remember people like William Swan in the 1800s who organized what was then drag balls. I think about the Stonewall riots and what that caused. Alan Locke, the poet, the black poet who died here in Providence Hospital, he was the dean of the Harlem Renaissance. All of these people I just talked about they were part of the LGBTQ community, our ancestors. Lorraine Hansberry, here in Chicago, Maureen, Barbara Jordan. I mean, really, Michael Sam, who's living. All of these people are, well, most of them, except for Michael Sam, are LGBTQ ancestors, our ancestors. And this man, literally in the White House, is too stupid to understand that it was that diversity that built where he's sleeping at.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Well, and most of the country, I
don't have a lot of time. I know you're not going to give me a lot of time today because this is in between your heartbreak. But let me just say that we have to begin now resisting more than ever before. He's trying to take away the vote.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. And the thing that we also that we need to keep driving it home too, that Black history is American history.
That's right.
This is not only did I'm sorry.
Look, you guys just talked about Mamie Till Mosley, the mother of
Emmett.
Yes.
Till. Here, I had the honor of knowing her. She worked in the campaigns that I worked in to try to make far as Illinois, a better place to live. This man is Satan's good Judy, and we need to understand what that means. That means that we and he's only been in for 1 year. We got 3 more years. He's taking food from the hungry, as far as with the SNAP benefits, the elderly, as far as his cuts with Medicaid, are going to hurt poor people all over this country.
Yeah. Well, Michael, thank you so much for all of your thoughts, because we do have to go, because there's some things I want to get to before we talk to Daniel Biss. But you are absolutely correct. We need to be standing up. We need to have our voices heard. We need to be loud that this is unacceptable. This is un-American. Michael O'Connor, thank you for deeply un-American.
Deeply.
Yep.
You're so right, Michael. Thank you for calling in and your contributions, Michael. Thank you.
And it's what's happening now is, Ding Dong is ahead of schedule for his election denial plan. Usually that starts historically in the past 3 elections that he's been a part of. That usually starts in April, but now he's decided to up that a little bit earlier. This go around, he's starting early by seizing, the voting records in Georgia. And there's all that talk, as you were talking about in the last segment, about nationalizing elections, in particularly 15 states. When asked what 15 states are that, there was nothing, no response, but that was a very certain and specific number that was going on there. There are already threats of ICE agents at polling places, which again, the Ding Dong in the White House, the little blonde with the dark roots, and the Christian necklace is probably going to burn right through her chest one of these days until the demon comes out of her body. When asked about that, she's like, well, there hasn't been any conversation about that. She's like, can you guarantee that there won't be ICE at polling places? Well, he haven't said anything about it yet. It's like, it's okay. Our rights are under attack every day, and aggressively under attack that's going on here in this country.
Heartbreaking.
And but fortunately, we do have folks that are out there, and this is something that I want to just to play for you. We have folks like Shannon Lynn Parker, who is the CEO of Equality Illinois, and she is here and hellbound to keep us focused. At the annual Equality Illinois Gala that took place on the January 31st, she delivered really powerful and personal remarks about meeting the moment that we are in. Here's just a little snippet of Shannon Lynn Parker's remarks at the Equality Illinois Gala on the January 31st.
I really want you all to hear this. We are living through sustained political backlash, intentional confusion, and coordinated harm. Fear is being used as a strategy. Chaos is being sold as inevitable. And hard-won LGBTQ rights are under attack. That is the reality that Equality Illinois is built to face. Leadership in times like these is about being steady where it matters most. Our job is not to chase every headline or to react ourselves into exhaustion. Our job is to make sure nothing essential collapses. And I want to say something else too. Our outrage is not the problem. In fact, our outrage is proof that we are paying attention. But I want you all to hear me. Outrage without strategy can be turned against us. So we ground ourselves in we ground our work in understanding, not to soften our anger, but to aim it, to make sure people know what is happening, why it matters, and where power is actually being exercised, so fear does not get to decide our next move. And what does that mean? That means protecting infrastructure before it breaks. Providers, families, frontline organizations, the systems people rely on to survive long enough to fight another day. We build coalition without erasure. We maintain discipline under pressure because structured movements endure. This is how we hold the line.
Is indeed how we hold the line. That's going. I mean, it's so inspiring. And then she talks about like, look, here's the thing that we got to stop as a Democratic Party, as members of the LGBTQ community. Like, we got to stop the infighting. We got to stop the Democratic the purity test of like who's more social justice-y than other people. We've got to, as she said, hold the line. We've got to make sure that the infrastructures that we have in place right now, that they don't fail us. That for all these hard-won rights that we've had. She also went on to say, and it's basically a call to action, calling folks to the carpet too. She would say, authoritarian systems do not protect people because they are loyal, respectable, or quiet. They protect hierarchy, and hierarchy always demands someone beneath it. That is why proximity has never been safety. Whiteness, money, respectability, citizenship, gender conformity, even being, quote, the acceptable kind of queer person have all been sold as shields, and these are not shields. They are temporary cover, and history shows us again and again that the cover always runs out. This is not new. When fear rises, societies become obsessed with rank, who is in and who is out, who is deserving and who is disposable. Authoritarianism does not require everyone to be cruel. It only requires enough people to decide that what is happening is not happening to them. And that is where we all need to get off our butts and get out into the streets and get out into the polls and to get our members of Congress and to start doing their job. We have to come together. There's no room for us to be divided in this within it. We've got to be very focused, and we have to stand up, and we have to stand united.
Amen to that.
We've got to come together. And hopefully we'll have, with the midterms coming up, we'll have that opportunity to get behind folks again. We are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to be speaking with Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss. He is running for he's vying to represent Illinois' 9th District in Congress. So stick around. You are listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT, Heartland Signal.
Hey, this is Mark Patton, and I'm from Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're listening to Out Chicago.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, just rolling along. The Illinois primaries are coming up in a couple of weeks, and we are very fortunate to have our next guest. He was a legislator in both the Illinois House and the Senate, and he is currently the mayor of Evanston. He is now vying to represent Illinois' 9th District in Congress. Mayor Daniel Biss, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for all that you have done for the folks of Illinois throughout your career in public service. And I personally want to thank you for sponsoring legislation banning the gay panic defense. It was a bill that passed unanimously. The fact that it was still on the books in, I believe it was 2017 when it got passed, is shocking. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. When folks at Equality Illinois came to me to talk about that issue, I had the same reaction you had. Like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
That's, in the case your listeners don't know, this is a so-called defense where if somebody finds out that someone is, gay
a member of the LGBTQ community,
or has any let's say has any kind of, non-cisgender identity, and then is so shocked, so disgusted by this revelation that they fly into a rage of violence and commit assault or even murder, then they might be able to go to court and say, well, it wasn't really my fault. I couldn't control myself. I was
in a gay panic.
Horrified.
Yeah.
I was in a gay panic. Literally, it's called a panic defense.
Yeah.
So, until we passed that law, I want to say it was 2016, but I don't remember for sure.
I think
That was
2016 is
still
when it
something you
passed, and then 2017 is when
Yeah.
it went into law, into effect. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
until
it
then,
was,
you could still go to court and defend yourself in that way. It's just the most obscene thing.
it was very obscene,
ridiculous,
and
yeah.
I'm so happy that, like, thank you for leading the charge on that as well. You know, you have had such a career in public service, and I ask this of all the candidates that are running, just why are you running for Congress?
Well, the tragedy is we have such an emergency in our federal government. You know, from issue to issue, we're watching people get shot in the street, federal agents marauding around our communities, grabbing people and kidnapping them because of the color of their skin or the language that they're speaking. But of course, it doesn't end there. I mean, you know, for this show, we should just point out that trans kids in particular are under attack or being assaulted by our government. And we could go on and on. And so it just feels to me that we're in this emergency time and we need the right people there to fight back. And what I think that means is people who know how to fight and win inside of government, right? People who've gotten tough things done against strong opposition, even when it's politically hard for them in a government role, and people who are out on the street putting their body on the line and motivating a resistance movement across the country to rise up and demand something different, because I think we can't end this nightmare without both of those things working hand in hand.
Indeed. What are your top three, would you say, Mayor Biss, top three priorities if you're elected to Congress?
Well, look, the tragedy is when I take office in January of 2027, Donald Trump's going to still be the president for 2 more years. And so in that time, it's really about stopping the madness, about you know, protecting our people, about pushing back against ICE, about pushing back against the assaults on our democracy and against LGBT people and against people of color. I mean, the fundamental job for the first couple of years is going to be to stop them in their tracks. Now, going forward, you know, in a future world where we're able to actually work together on solving problems, I would say climate, economic security, and corruption. And I say corruption, you know, it's not something people necessarily always bring up, but I look at our government as just stuck. I think we're in a situation where things are not getting done, where it's just easier for everybody in politics to say no rather than yes, where big money and powerful corporate interests have so much control over what can and can't happen. And if we don't tackle that, I don't think we're going to have a government that's got the tools to solve any other problems.
So what are you thinking? Because I know part of your campaign, you were talking like affordability right now is at the fore of most people's minds. I said earlier in the show, I went and I bought 2 frozen pizzas and some toilet paper. It was $35. You know, like that's ridiculous. But I love that one of the parts of your platform is you were really wanting to combat income inequality and wealth hoarding, which is happening because of tax cuts, which is happening because of all sorts of things. How do you plan to combat these two things that kind of go hand in hand?
Well, I'll start by talking about some specific ideas, right? First of all, you talked about taxes. It's absolutely true. I mean, we basically have allowed more and more wealth to get in the hands of fewer and fewer people, and then it goes untaxed. And so that means not only raising the top marginal income tax rate, it means closing tax loopholes like the Wall Street loopholes, like the carried interest loophole that allows some of the richest people in the history of the world to legally kind of misclassify their income and get a big tax cut. We ought to have a wealth tax. People with, you know, huge stores of wealth ought to have that tax as well, so that we're not allowing this kind of growing oligarchy to take hold. We ought to raise the minimum wage significantly and then index it to inflation. So these are all concrete things that I think need to be done immediately. But I also want to just for one quick second step back and ask the question of how did we get here? Right? How is it that we're such a wealthy country and yet got people, not just 5 or 10%, but 50, 70% who are struggling to afford housing, who can't afford child care or can't afford to have a child because of the cost of child care and the barbaric family leave policies, can't have access to health care. How did we get here? And I think there's really an answer to that, which is we have spent 50 years watching the biggest corporations merge and consolidate and grow. So they have near monopoly power now across the economy as workers have lost their power, right? Unions have shrunk and become less influential in the labor market and in the political system. And so we've just watched as the dial of power has shifted from workers to corporations, from consumers to corporations, and the outcome is what you would expect. And if you want to solve the problem, you've got to actually get at the core. So that means breaking up the big monopolies, enforcing our antitrust laws. It means lifting up labor unions, building a labor movement for the 21st century, passing bills like the PRO Act that would make it easier for workers to build power in the workplace and actually be the narrators of their own story, not just be at the mercy of somebody else's whims.
Yeah, well, I think it's also because there's nothing a billionaire fears more than becoming a 100-millionaire.
Yeah, and when you want to do and I appreciate that we need to do this, but when we have a compromised Justice Department like we have, even if you take office in 2027, how do you cut through that?
Well, the Justice Department, I mean, the whole federal government, the whole executive branch of government is being taken over by an authoritarian maniac.
Right, exactly.
So part of that is just, that's bad. But that's not a good enough attitude. The other part of this is that, listen, we have watched Congress let it happen. We have watched Congress step back from their constitutional responsibility. We've watched Congress leave a power vacuum that the president is only too happy to fill. Mm-hmm. And so I think that we need to take seriously Congress's oversight responsibility. When the Democratic majority comes into office next January, there are going to be impeachments that have to happen. There are going to be hearings that have to happen. There are going to be subpoenas that have to be given. We have to actually take our job seriously, because part of what they're doing because Congress is lying down and let it happen. And I'm just never going to be like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, thank you, because that is a huge thing. We need to get the legislative branch back to being a co-equal branch of government and holding the executive and judicial, be a primary check on those two things, especially when it comes to this whole presidential immunity that the Supreme Court has set up for ding dong.
Do you think term limits are the answer to some of these even Democrats? As we know, there's a lot of criticism about Democrats, like you're saying, they're not doing enough. Are term limits a way to? Are the people too comfortable in their power? Or what are we going to do to change this going forward?
I mean, we definitely need more turnover. I think term limits for the Supreme Court are extremely important. To talk about, you've got this lifetime appointment where these guys are basically tearing apart democracy, and they're going to stay there until they're no longer alive. I also think there's other aspects of this, right? So our campaign finance system is so corrupt.
Yep.
It's so broken. It advantages incumbents so much. And I hate to tell you, but the way we draw our political maps also advantages our incumbents. So if you create a campaign finance reform system like what I've set up for mayor's elections in Evanston, if you have a fair mapping system, then all of a sudden you're going to have competition. There's not going to be a automatic path to reelection forever. And then you're going to have more turnover and more fresh blood and more dynamism and vitality in our political system.
We need that. Oh.
Yeah, campaign finance reform is a huge thing that I've been talking about for years.
Well, yeah, because the ones with the money, you were trying to, the oligarchy situation we have, it's like it's a vicious circle, because they're the ones controlling the money that funds all these campaigns. And as we know, the one that screams the loudest sometimes gets their message across, and it's not.
That's right.
It's not right. So more power to
it in this campaign, right? It's we've got I'm the only candidate. I'm the only candidate kind of in the leading tier who gets my money from people in Illinois. The other candidates are all just overwhelmingly funded by out-of-state interests, and that's legal. They're not breaking the law, but I just feel like that's not how we ought to have our elections run.
I agree.
All right. Well, Mayor Biss, thank you so much for taking time out to join us today. If you want to find out more information about the mayor's platform issues, his career, go to danielbiss.com. Mayor Daniel Biss, again, thank you for joining us today, and best of luck to you as you head towards the primaries.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the conversation, and I appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you.
Our
so
pleasure.
Much.
We have got to take a quick break, and when we come back, there is more Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
Welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, rolling along on Superb Owl Sunday. It's the Superb Owl that's happening. It's flying in, grabbing all those tacky balls and sticky balls that were so upsetting to what's his name?
Tom Brady. Oh no,
Mr. Giselle Bundchen.
Oh
yeah, there we are. Watch out for the Superb Owl. It's also
coming.
Benito Day. It's the Benito Bowl.
The what?
Benito Bowl. Bad Bunny.
Oh, bonito.
Yeah, Bad Bunny's going to be doing some
Looking
stuff.
forward.
I'm really excited about that. But before we're going to talk about that, we're going to talk about the Olympics. Poor Lindsey Vonn. Ow. I was watching a lot of the events yesterday, and watching any of those downhill skiing sort of situations. Just watching it, my knees were. I was going ow. So we're going to talk about all that stuff, and we're going to talk about all the weird political things that are happening in conjunction with all that stuff. But before we do that, I'm so super duper excited and honored, dare I say, to have these lovely folks joining us today in Collaboration Theater's Emmy Award-winning Trial in the Delta, The Murder of Emmett Till. Collaboration has transformed the original, long-buried trial transcript into a gripping, immersive theatrical experience that places the audiences face-to-face with the people whose testimony shaped the civil rights movement. And joining us now are Anthony Mosley, co-director of Trial in the Delta and artistic director for Collaboration, and executive director Darlene Jackson. Anthony and Darlene, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Nice to have you both.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And thank you for all of the y'all Collaboration. I'm like, my heart is like the Grinch's. It has grown like 18 sizes, so big every time I see what you folks are up to in Humboldt Park over there. Darlene, can you remind listeners about the mission and history of Collaboration?
Sure. Well, Collaboration is a 30-year-old now. We're celebrating our 30 years.
I can't believe that.
I know, but we are an ethno-diverse theater for social change, and we have, an arts and education component. We empower youth performers and artists and activists to get involved with, social change. We also sort of live by this ethos of KETA, which is our philosophy and practice. It's knowledge, empathy, dialogue, and action. And so we try to approach every opportunity, play, performance, workshop, creative, any endeavor with that ethos in mind, that we want people to walk away, coming away with more knowledge, more empathy, to have conversed with each other, have established a dialogue, and then feel empowered to take some sort of action to create a better world for everybody. So we, just embody that ethos in everything we do. And then, we've built a new theater. So, we came out of the Wicker Park area, moved it a little bit more west to help elevate these performers and these artists within this hyper-local space around Humboldt Park. So we are really just there to, serve the folks in the community and bring arts into areas that may not have a lot of arts around.
Yeah, that was what I was going to be saying, because since the beginning of the year, I've been saying that my focus this year is community. I don't do New Year's resolutions, but I'd like to take a word or a concept and think, how can I develop, broaden, strengthen my communities? And that's one thing that I will say about Collaboration. You all always keep community at the fore. You are about building communities, you're about strengthening communities, and you're about helping empower communities by, like you said, by creating these dialogues, by inspiring action. It's just, thank you.
And what kind of response have you gotten from the Humboldt community and surrounding so far?
Oh, they're extremely supportive and have been showing up at events. We are partnering with, local residents, and some of them, have come on staff. So they're very supportive. They're really embracing us, and so we're excited about that too.
Beautiful.
And I used to live in Humboldt Park for almost 15 years, so it's actually like coming back home for me.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, before we get into Emmett Till, so what has been this journey to getting this new the House of Belonging is what the theater is called? What has been this journey to this moment?
Well, Anthony could probably tell you a little more about that.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony,
Quite
yes.
a journey. Let us say between, looking for spaces, years spent in that process, and then all of the things we had to go through, the hoops that we had to get through. Once we found a space, I'll let Anthony take it from here because he's such a great storyteller.
Okay, Anthony, you're on.
Take it away.
You're up.
Well, you give me the mic and the box to stand on. Please cut me off if I've gone too far, but I think we should make a devised play about the actual process of building and the hoops that we jumped through to pull it off, because it was a bit of a miracle. And here we are, this is the 9th era of Collaboration in my little mind of how I've broken it all down. And I must say, from the basement of Cafe Voltaire, when Kimberly Sr. came back from a trip to India and said, wow, theater doesn't have to be pretentious. And what if everybody just did everything? Mm-hmm. And you made something by the people, for the people. And then we had our Late Night Catechism and the Hypocrites were both in rep with us in the basement of Cafe Voltaire in March of '96. Along the way, we've had many people have joined the campfire and brought their stories and, chopped some wood and carried some water and allowed this little flower in the crack of the sidewalk in Wicker Park to grow to a tree. But I remember, guys, right before we, had our show on WCPT, I came on the air with Carla and we spoke to you. That must have been over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We ended up doing. You remember that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did 100 shows on WCPT, and part of that was because, we had we didn't have a home, and we were putting that energy into finding a new space. And frankly, the theater industry was still very difficult to navigate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so we said, let's do bring our mission to the airwaves of WCPT, and we were still looking for a space at that point. So kind of coming back and opening our new House of Belonging and premiering this remount of Trial in the Delta and coming back on the air with you is a wonderful full circle moment. And to reflect on that period and to celebrate, having our own spot. And we would just love to host you guys sometime. Can you do a remote show from the House of Belonging? We got
Heck yeah.
We
will try to figure that out, but we'll definitely, I'm making a note right now to send out to the powers that be. Because we would love to be a part of the House of Belonging, and I couldn't think of a better inaugural production than Trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till. Anthony, I know this is a remount of a very successful production. Like I said, it has won Emmy Awards, the filmed version of the production, rather. What was the process like of adapting a courtroom transcript into a theatrical experience?
I lost sound.
Oh,
They can't hear us.
Think we lost sound somewhere. Are there gremlins in the universe?
Lost sound.
Oh, you've lost sound? Okay.
Your microphone is not working.
Oh, my microphone is not working?
On Zoom, it says we're not working.
Oh, well, interesting. Well, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. Can you guys hear us now? They cannot hear us right now. Hey, Devin, why don't we take a quick break and see
We're back.
Oh, you're back.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, my gosh.
Great.
Amazing.
Thank you, Devin. Whatever you did.
The aliens pressured us for a moment and told us to tell you that you're right on track. You're doing it so well, nobody does it better.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you. The question I asked before the gremlins got into the airwaves here was, talk a little bit about the process of adapting a courtroom transcript into a theatrical experience.
Here's the story. The transcript was never filed because they wanted to hide the legal injustice that was It was a textbook for how to, you know, kill black people and get away with it, and in the courtroom. And a law student in the early aughts got on the schedule of Breland, J.J. Breland, the defense attorney, and they drank a bottle of whiskey, and at the end they had a great talk about the trial. He said, "You don't have the transcript, do you?" He said, "Yeah, here it is." Well, the next day that law student said, "I need to turn this into the feds," and that opened up the perjury case against Carolyn Bryant, the FBI, and during that process, some good people got their hands on this transcript, and they uploaded it to the internet, and then Marion Brooks found it online, and 2020, when she was researching creating a new docuseries about Mamie and Emmett, and she asked her colleague Leanne Trotter, who she should reach out to from the theater industry. She came to us. We said, wow, let's take this 400-page document and have our company members Willie Round and Gary Mills adapt it to the stage, and all they did was reduce and take things away. They didn't add any language to the testimonies or the lawyers, and we mounted it. You know, we staged it as a video with 29 actors, 3 cameras, and a one-day shoot at the old Steve Harvey Springer studio, and that went on to win 3 Emmys. And we did it at the DuSable Museum, first as a staged reading, then as a full production. And then we wanted to really, not enough people know about the trial. It's still a national kind of hidden piece of our history. So we really felt responsibility to leave the transcript open, much like Mamie did the casket. But in our intimate space, we had a chance to really reimagine it. And really, what we did was we centered Mamie Till's experience by making it a memory play for her, and setting it in the round and kind of letting Mamie take us back and bring us back to the now. And it's by far our most impactful and powerful version of it. And what a privilege and a joy to be able to work on a piece for so long. You know, in our industry, often a show has one chance, and if 4 or 5 weeks, if it doesn't sell out, it's never done again. And so we've had the ability to go really deep with some amazing members of the team, both actors and designers, my co-director, Dana Anderson, and it's fitting of our 30th anniversary and the first show of our new space. I will say that.
Is it challenging to balance the historical accuracy with like a theatrical piece? Being a theatrical piece?
Oh, it's so theatrical. It's in the courtroom.
Yeah.
So no, you just got to like be authentic, and great casting and acting and directing. We have the script. It's like documentary. It's like it's real. So I was watching Best in Show the other day with my wife and daughter, and I was thinking, wow, this is like these guys were doing improv filmmaking. It's almost like documentary because it's so real. No writer could ever write the things that those performers were doing in that amazing comedy. Well, in our show, it's the same. No writer could have created this. It's actually an imprint of space-time in 1955 in the Tallahatchie courthouse. So, I think we did our collaboration thing with stage chemistry and lights and sound. Great costumes. I think the staging is really impactful and immersive. But this is a lighter touch. This is really about letting the trial and the courtroom and what Mamie and Mose and Willie and what they did by showing up and helping to, as Mamie said, open the civil rights movement.
Yeah. It is truly a gift to be giving to Chicago, to Humboldt Park, and to the world, to be able to bring such a pivotal moment in our history that is not talked about enough to the fore, and had to have that opportunity to revisit it over the years. I guess it's to either one of you, both of you, what has it been like to return to this piece at this particular time in history?
Darling, go ahead.
Oh, well, I would just say that, history is destined to repeat itself. If you are, if you choose not to examine it closely. And we are at a place where we find ourselves in a great divide. And some of that has already been witnessed, once in our lifetime. So by telling this story, and gathering in spaces together to witness it together and come away with this shared and common experience among all of the people in the room, it's the type of thing you want to see happen over and over again, considering that, history is being rewritten. There's revisionist versions of things that have happened. And like the transcripts being lost for so long, once it's out of the public, view, it has a tendency to be forgotten. So we are mounting this and this special time in our special place where we, are driven to create space for belonging. This is really, I don't think it could have come at a better time, because the country needs it, the city needs it, and we're just here to make sure that these stories don't go away, that they aren't rewritten, that they aren't erased. They're burning books and banning books and taking books out of libraries and sort of readjusting the sites of our society right now. And so it's super important for these sorts of, I would say, oral histories and oral storytelling to still be at the forefront of how we gather, how we connect, and the communication that we get from pieces like this. And so that these stories aren't lost.
Do you think the majority of people coming to see the production are aware of it, or are there a lot of people that are kind of surprised and were unaware of the history?
We're finding both. We're finding people who were not aware of it, people who are aware of it and are bringing younger folks with them who aren't aware of it, who aren't being taught these stories in school. We was approached after the show a couple of nights ago. An aunt brought her 14-year-old nephew who had never heard of Emmett Till, and so these types of sort of bringing people in who may not be aware of it. These types of things are happening. But yes, it's a little bit of mix of both. It's a very intergenerational audience that we're seeing. Young people, middle-aged people, and, our, octogenarians and older folks, our seniors who are coming to the show. And then telling others, and others coming back to the show saying, my friend, told us that we have to come. So maybe we'll extend the run beyond March 1st, and it would be our honor to do so. We would love to see this story continue, beyond Black History Month, because it's really American history.
It is. I hope you do that.
Yeah,
it's
and
so important.
It's also like, it's a really powerful story, and it packs an emotional wallop. Do you have, is there any sort of like a audience? I call them sassbacks at the end. Like, is there a sassback, where you're able to have conversation? Because like a lot of people are processing what they just saw.
Yeah, after every performance, we have a crucial conversation, and that's the dialogue part of our methodology.
Yeah.
We hold space for the audience to just kind of come back to 2026, and when you have a really vivid, maybe somewhat difficult dream, and you wake up, it takes a little time to come back to your body. So we try to give the audience time to process and then reflect on what hit their heart and how they're going to move forward. How will Mamie's brilliance that changed the way we are together, how will her actions impact our actions? And she said before this happened, she thought it was sufficient to mind her own business, but now she realizes everybody's business is her business.
That's so true.
And so we do, and Willie Round, one of the co-adapters, moderates and leads that conversation. So he is able to bring a real personal perspective of the journey of taking it from the transcript through these multiple productions. And, let me also just say, this is a unique experience for white people to be able to witness the trial and the injustice of that system and what happened to this Chicago boy, and really suspend their disbelief, because it's real life. These are real words.
Yeah.
And so it has a unique way of really speaking to white folks about the tragedy and injustice that happened, and unfortunately is still happening. We really wish we didn't have to do this show.
Right.
But we have to.
Yeah.
So do we.
Yeah, and we thank you and everybody at Collaboration for taking on that challenge and taking on that mantle to tell this story and to keep telling stories
So
like this. The trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till, presented by Collaboration Theater Company, runs through March 1st, maybe a little bit longer, but you don't know, so you better get your tickets now. Go to collaboration.org for tickets and to find out more information about what this incredible company does and what they are all about. Darlene Jackson, Anthony Mosley from Collaboration Theater Company, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for all of the tremendous work that you do.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you both. Have a great one.
Thank you. You too. We have got to take a quick break, and when we come back, there is more Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm Israel Wright with National Gay and Lesbian Sports Hall of Fame. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller, rolling along. And hey, Monday on Live, Local, and Progressive, Joan Esposito will be taking your calls and talking to Sattleing's criminal justice reporter, Amanda Watford, Sasha Abramsky, a freelance journalist and author whose latest book is American Carnage, How Trump, Musk, and Doge Butchered the U.S. Government, and North Central College political science professor Suzanne Chod. Live, Local, and Progressive, weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT, 8:20 a.m., heartlandsignal.com, and on the tune-ins. Mm-hmm. Come on, tune-ins. So you did watch the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
Yeah, we stayed home Friday night and
I love opening ceremonies and closing ceremonies for the Olympics. I love them.
Must-see TV.
It is must-see TV. Well, it's one of the few, well, actually it isn't. People don't really tune in to it. Do they? I mean, it's not in the way like the Super Bowl is because there are very few just like cultural touch points, that we all experience. Super Bowl is one of them for some reason, but I don't know why the Olympics are. I don't know.
It seems like a lot of people watched Friday night, but who knows?
Yeah, I just love it. I loved how theatrical the opening thing. It was so freaking Italian.
It was very Italian.
And I mean, you've got like multicolored little espresso pots just dancing around over there, kind of like Beauty and the Beast comes to life. It was great. I loved it. I loved how like high tech it was. I thought the way that the rings were lifted up into the air were just so cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's just so great. And there's always something fun about like just watching the parade of athletes. Although I did feel badly because not everybody was in the stadium.
Yeah, they were on this
they were in 4 different locations, and I understand. Like, I get that whole little like transportation kind of thing. It's hard, and athletes having to get up early or whatever. But like I felt kind of badly for the people who weren't inside that main stadium.
Some were marching in the streets, and they got some nice accolades from the people that were lining the streets. And that looked cool on television, I thought, too, to see them in the streets there.
As to like where the events were going to be.
But they had to adapt to. I was thinking, I'm watching all these athletes, thinking how much pressure. You have to now go compete. You see all this pressure, all this anticipation. Now you got to go give your best performance that your whole life you've been leading up to this. I was thinking about what's going on in your head, and I know the closing ceremonies are always festive because there's a lot of, everybody's just so happy, and
it's like we did it.
Yeah,
but there's something about like I understand. My hope is that they actually have a moment to like just to be present where they
Yeah.
are, to be like, oh, I'm an Olympian.
Yeah, I think they.
Like, how cool is that?
You saw tears coming down people's, some of the
Always.
athletes' cheeks, and
Yeah, because it's like not everybody does that.
no, it's a lifelong dream that they are experiencing. It must be surreal for them. you
Yeah,
know?
it's just kooky. And that's why I felt badly that like not everybody was in the stadium.
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
they-
but I guess the
they're-
cauldron wasn't in the stadium.
There were
either.
different. There were 2 cauldrons, I guess. There were dual cauldrons.
Well, no, but the main one is like not even in that little
Right.
stadium. It's like outside in that little
square, or
the little
whatever.
piazza.
Yeah, that was
It's a
kinda
piazza.
quaint.
We're in Italy. We're in Milano.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, it was. It just always brings me a lot of joy. I always loved the Olympics, even as a kid. We looked forward to every 4 years. In those days, it was every 4 years.
And you got both of them.
Both of them, and now they've switched it up.
Yeah, no, I love it. I've been watching it. It's been so much fun. I want to do the luge so badly. Oh, it's so fun.
So scary.
It's terrifying, but like that's so fun. And like watching all of the skiers and stuff, man. Ooh, and Lindsey Vonn, she crashed today. Her arm got caught in one of the gates, and like that's a bummer.
I had to airlift her away. Hope she's okay.
Yeah.
And I guess her teammate did win. So
yes,
that's
yes,
nice.
yes. But like, but 41 years old, trying to come back, it was a big. There was a lot of pressure. Talk about pressure. There was a lot of pressure on her.
It was
with that, and I could just feel like, ugh. Like how awful, but hopefully she's doing
Hopefully
okay.
she'll be all right. Yeah, she tried. With a torn ACL too, she tried. So you can't try much more than that. She has to know she put it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
Above and beyond.
What sports are you looking for? What events are you looking forward to?
I haven't really thought about any of it. To be honest, I just watch if I can. If I have a night open, I'll just see what's on. And I like all the sports. Skiing. Curling, I'm probably not that hot on, to be honest.
Girl, I figured it out. Curling is basically ice bocce. It is ice bocce.
Yeah.
It's what it is with the stones. So I'm like, I'm texting my friends who are in bocce leagues here. I'm like, wait a second. This is like bocce. Like, yes. Like, I get it now. Plus, I love watching them because they're intense. They are just yelling at each other with the brooms and the sweeping and the stuff. I'm on board team curling.
Yeah, it's definitely got its own vibe. I'll tell you that. I like the snowboarding. I think that's pretty,
Girl, I was watching the big air competition that happened yesterday. Japan kicked everyone.
Really?
But it is just remarkable of what these people can do with their bodies. It's like, it is just insane. There was one U.S. Athlete. He was 17 years old. I think his name is Miles. I can't remember his last name right now. 17 years old. He was there for bronze. He was there for silver for a little bit, and then he was ranked behind whatever one of the Japanese athletes, and then he got knocked out by 2 other people from Japan. I believe they all 3. It was so much fun to watch. It's just very exciting.
It is exciting. Yeah, it's neat, and these young people work so hard to get there. It's I admire them greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Their discipline and their commitment and
the sacrifices and all that stuff.
Sacrifices for sure.
And there are, I believe, Team USA. You said that is 8 openly queer folks.
8 out of 41. There's 48 athletes in total. I understand that are LGBTQ identifying. 8 from the U.S. team, several women, and you got Hillary Knight on the women's hockey. You've got Alex Carpenter.
Wait, a hockey player? No way.
A couple of hockey
really?
players. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, she's a hockey. Hillary's a hockey player, and Alex Carpenter's a hockey player, and then we've got Kayla Barnes, another third woman hockey player. Connor McDermott, Mostway, speed skater. We've got Brittany Bow, a speed skater, another woman. Amber Glenn, she's a figure skating Olympian, first queer figure skater, openly queer,
Woman. Yeah.
Woman.
You've
yes,
had
yes.
Johnny Weir was there.
Yes,
undeniable.
Breezy Johnson, alpine skiing. Maddie Shaffrick, who's a snowboarder. So several women and one man.
Come on now.
That we know of.
Come on.
And 41 total athletes. So it's nice that they're out. And we talked though. Italy, not the most
Italy's really, really
LGBTQ
weird.
friendly.
Yeah, we was just kind of like interested. I'm like, all right, so
who knew? I hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah,
somehow.
so Italy is weird when it comes to LGBTQ rights. There's an organization, ILGA Europe. It's an international LGBTQ rights organization. They actually ranked Italy as 35th out of 42 countries based on their legal and policy practices for LGBTQ plus folks. It is the only country in Western Europe that doesn't have marriage equality. Italy has bans access to surgery for both same-sex and different-sex couple surrogacy rather. They ban surrogacy for same-sex and different-sex couples, as well as single people, under a law that they enacted in 2004. The ban was strengthened in 2024, making it illegal for Italians to become parents by surrogacy in another country, and increasing criminal penalties. I mean, it applies to all Italians equally, but it looks like the LGBTQ folks are disproportionately affected, shall we say.
I wonder if that Catholicism has anything to do with
I doubt it. I don't know. Yeah, I
know.
know. They also have a national law against anti-LGBTQ plus discrimination in employment, which is great, but in no other aspects of life, such as housing, healthcare, and provision of goods and services. Now, certain cities, they do have protections, Milan being one of them, the fashion capital of Italy, and very LGBTQ friendly. But they're not exactly as super duper friendly to the gays in Italy. In 2021, Italy's Senate quashed a bill that would have amended the country's hate crimes law to cover LGBTQ plus people, women, and people with disability. But there was strong opposition from the Catholic Church, which helped kill the legislation. And it was basically the church's influence was on the reason why the nation lags and its neighbors on LGBTQ plus rights.
Maybe the new Pope can exert some positive influence.
Possibly.
I mean, maybe,
No, he hasn't been quite coming out as gangbusters.
No, not yet. No,
right.
But he tends to be a little more liberal, I think, than previous popes.
All right. Well, we'll see.
My inside sources.
We shall see. We shall see. But it does seem that the Olympics are a welcoming place, and they are not going to be discriminated against and everything. I believe. I hope. What's going on?
And Milan, as we said, is a city that does have more protections than the rest of the country. It's like America. You've got cities like Chicago and Illinois, states that have been at the forefront of equal rights for everybody, yet the country lags behind, so.
Yeah, we're just waiting for that Equality Act.
It's been waiting and waiting and waiting.
To be passed. It's passed a couple times in the House and never
sees the light of day after that.
Yeah. So no other events that you're looking forward to?
Honestly, I'm not that compelled. I like to watch it if I'm around, but it's not must-see TV for me, really.
All right. Well, there we go. And on that note, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm Heather Vickery with Greatest Expectations. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here and Ella Miller rolling along during the Olympics and on Superb Owl Sunday. Hey, you can listen to, rate, and share the Out Chicago full episodes and featured interviews podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeart, YouTube, and Amazon Music. All you got to do is search Out Chicago with Scott Duff and Ella Miller, or visit our podcast page at heartlandsignal.com/podcasts. Some of the latest additions to our featured interviews podcasts are Coco Sudek of Q-Force. Girl, that is you got to look up Q-Force, because if you are in Chicago and you are a member of the LGBTQ community or an ally and you want to get involved in elections and how to bring about a change, check out Q-Force. They're going to be meeting every month. August Spree, Senior Manager of Special Events at AIDS Foundation Chicago, ahead of their World of Chocolate benefit on February 27th. You should also definitely get tickets for that. go. It's so much fun. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be passing judgment. It's going to be super duper great. I get to go and judge, and it's on the north side
so
this
lucky.
year. So much fun. Go and check that out. And Owen Keenan, author of Gay Chicago Memories, 1300 North Wells. He's also going to be honored by Center on Halstead at their upcoming gala, the Human First Gala. And I believe Tracy Bain is also going to be honored. There we are. That's the word at that event.
Never enough honors for Tracy Bain.
I know it. And British stand-up comedian, actor, and activist Susie Izzard, and of John Waters. We've had a lot of great podcasts. So go check them out. Yeah. Give us a listen. That would be great.
That would be.
And hey, people, they always ask. I mean, I'm walking around. I'm like, Scott, how do we support WCPT and Heartland Signal? I'm like, the best way, of course, is to support our sponsors and let them know that you heard it here and you appreciate them advertising with us. But if you're on Facebook, there's another way. You can actually subscribe to the WCPT 820 and Heartland Signal Facebook pages. The subscription is just 99 cents a month. We will have some special offers for our subscribers coming soon. So visit us, WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, and Heartland Signal on Facebook, and hit that subscribe button. There we go.
Please do that for us.
There we are. So, are you ready for the Bonito Bowl?
I'm ready. I having my kind of a tradition, homemade pizza. I do homemade crust, homemade sauce, everything homemade. And so I did the sauce and the caramelizing of the onions and the cooking of the sausage yesterday so that I could be, when I get home today, we can concentrate on the sugar cookie footballs we're going to make.
All righty, come on now.
And
Didn't bring any?
we haven't made them yet.
Yeah.
I got to make one.
She could have brought some sausage and caramelized.
Yeah, I could have brought you some crumbled Italian sausage. So we're having a couple of friends over, just 5 of us total, and people that we know are going to watch the game. Because we have a lot of friends, they don't care, like you.
Yeah,
they don't care.
Yeah,
but we try and find the couple that do care.
That do care. Mm-hmm.
We'll do some. Maybe some squares. It's kind of fun. I was talking about it before in between Devin and I. It's fun to have when you don't care about either team, although I am rooting against the Patriots because their owner is a Epstein-loving, Trump-loving dude.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna root for Seattle, who give their ownership, I understand, gives money to the causes that we care about. Sorta. All right. No, it's not all. Okay, you're the sports expert, Devin. Tell me, where am I going wrong here?
So it's not so much that he is not giving causes. It's more he's donating pretty 50-50 to whoever's in charge. He's like, I'm on both sides there.
Oh.
There's only 3 teams in the NFL that donate to Democrat candidates and not Republicans, or don't donate at all.
Do you know them?
I know one's the Falcons, and I'm blanking on the other 2 now. Yeah, don't support the Broncos. They donate the most to President Trump.
Ugh.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
Take that, Denver.
I just like the squares help make it fun because you put a little money, like you buy squares for $5 each, and you watch the score, and if the numbers land on your score, hey, you won something. So it kind of gives a lot of people have these at parties, all these games and squares and betting and all that sort of thing. I mean, it's the biggest betting event of the year, right? I mean,
yeah, probably. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a big bettor, but like I said, just a little friendly square game, and we'll eat, we'll watch. I'm looking forward to Bad Bunny.
Me too. He's having a heck of a week.
He is.
He started with the Grammys last Sunday, winning Album of the Year, and he also got 2 other Grammys or whatever. The first time a Spanish-speaking album won Album of the Year,
Yep.
and now he's doing the Bonito Bowl halftime show. I'm really looking forward to seeing what, because he's not shying away from politics. So I'm very excited to see what is going to what he's going to do.
Remind people that Puerto Rico is U.S. territory because apparently a lot of people don't miss that lesson in class.
That's because they wanted to go, and because of that they needed to have their own little halftime show.
Yeah, they're having their own little counter programming with headliner Kid Rock. But not only Kid Rock, but Brantley Gilbert, Lee Bryce, and Gabby Barrett. I mean, oh my God. Does it get any worse than that?
I don't even know who
I don't even know who they are either. I do not know who they are
Well, do you
either.
know that Bradley guy,
Yeah.
that
Brantley Gilbert?
Brantley Gilbert, yes. He's a country singer, and I believe he put out a big statement about why he's doing this.
And why is he doing
I don't
this?
know. I didn't really read all of it. Because he was talking about how the country is celebrating 250 years, but there hasn't been a country singer in the Super Bowl halftime show for like 20 years, which was like Shania Twain was the last one, I believe. But also technically, Beyonce, she did win a Grammy for Best Country Album.
Cowboy Carter, hello.
There's that. But he keeps saying, like, and now I'm going to do the Super Bowl halftime show that America deserves or whatever. And I'm like, dude, you are not doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny is doing that. You guys are having your little pity party pouty party that is not on TV that you don't have to pay for. It's like, it's going to be over there doing your thing. You are not performing at the Super Bowl. You're performing during the Super Bowl. That was like how when I was doing, like, I did stand up, I did a show at Laugh Factory, and then Amy Schumer did a show after me. That's like me saying I opened for Amy Schumer.
Right.
I did not open for Amy Schumer. I was on the show beforehand, but technically I guess it is. So yes, if you're doing a Super Bowl halftime show, you need to be at the Super Bowl.
One would think.
One would think. But the thing that's just kind of mind-boggling, it's like, I don't understand. Like, do you not see that you need your own separate little halftime show the way people needed separate drinking fountains?
Yeah.
Again, we come back to the racism.
It's so blatantly racist.
It's just so ridiculous.
The backlash against Bad Bunny is just, it's incredible to me. It's like, what are they thinking? I mean, why is it so bad for this man to do a halftime
Because
show?
he's not doing it in English. That's the biggest one right there. Because people are like, oh, you're in America. You got to speak American. That's that right there. The fact that he is a Spanish singing artist and a Spanish speaking artist. He also speaks English as well.
He does speak English, of course.
He has... they're like, I don't get it. And the fact that, like we said, they don't realize that if you are an American citizen, if you are from Puerto Rico.
That's correct.
Yes. So we've got that happening. Isn't Brandi Carlile performing at the beginning too, isn't she?
Yes, I think she's doing something.
She's doing she's either doing the national anthem or God Bless America. God Bless America. God Bless America. But there's also, it's pretty freaking queer though that's happening there, because there's I forget, there's the other ones who were singing at the beginning. I know so much attention's been with Bad Bunny.
She's doing America the Beautiful.
America the Beautiful.
Yeah.
All righty. So there. Oh, it's Green Day?
The opening act. They're opening up the Super Bowl.
Oh, come on, Green Day.
They're opening up with what? Like
They're opening. They're going to be the first band performing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's great.
Opening
So yeah, so
ceremonies,
Green
yes.
Day, you've got
There's
that.
another queer representative
going on right there. And then you've got Brandi Carlile.
Perfect.
Then you have Bad Bunny, who is a huge ally for the LGBTQ community. That's the thing. Like, this whole idea about, like, the way that the right feels that woke is like a bad idea.
I know. It makes me sick.
It just confuses me. It's the same thing about, like, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Which one of those do you not like?
All of it they don't like.
I know. So, okay, but then say it. And I guess right now they are saying
it
with their own stupid little thing going on over there.
It's nice that, the Spanish-speaking community in this country has been going through hell with ICE, and it's nice that they're going to get a feel-good moment here.
We're all going to be getting it. I mean, he was the most streamed artist on Spotify for the year of 2025.
Yeah. He's won everything that's possible to win.
He has got
too.
I believe it's maybe 17 double digits in the Latino Grammys.
Yeah.
He just won 3 Grammys last week. He is a global superstar.
Yes.
Of course, it makes total sense that he's doing this.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah. So now these other ones are like just having a little pity party, and they're going to go to have their little racist little moment over here.
Yeah.
Over here. I'm over
and
them.
it's, and it's going to be on, like you said, it's Trinity Broadcast Network, One America News Network, OANN. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, it'll be, I won't be tuning in.
I know.
I won't be tuning in.
Oh, heck no.
That's okay. What I will be hopefully tuning into is the Puppy Bowl.
I do love the Puppy Bowl.
Well, now we got to give shout outs because the Puppy Bowl actually has 2 Chicago pups.
Really?
Yes, from the shelter, the rescue organization, One Tail at a Time.
I love One Tail at a Time.
I know. My friend is on the board there.
It's a great organization.
And I was texting her this morning. I'm like, did I hear correctly that there are 2 alums of One Tail at a Time?
Aww.
A fantastic organization that rescues and fosters dogs.
Yes. I wonder how that happened, how they got on the Puppy Bowl.
I'm
happy about it.
Good looks and a great attitude. I'm sure.
Yes.
So I'll be very, very excited to that.
We'll be rooting for the Chicago pups. There we go. There's some Chicago thing.
There's some Chicago
today.
that's going on here. In this on the superb owl.
The superb
day.
owl, and you'll be working today, I take it.
Yes.
People coming in for last minute dips and chips.
It is the second biggest food holiday
It is.
after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I hear you.
I know, but it's like everybody calm down. Just be nice.
Maybe they should do it on Saturday so people can have the next day off because everybody goes to party. So many people.
Well, and tomorrow is the day that most people call off of work.
Yeah. Most
it's
callings of the year is the day after Super Bowl.
Yes. So
maybe make it a holiday someday. They've talked about
what?
it.
No.
Like the Boston Marathon.
How
about
we make the election day?
Well, that's
a
even
national
better
holiday?
idea.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
That is a
instead.
great idea.
Let's do that instead.
We should do that.
All right.
Give people the day off. There's no excuses not to get out and vote.
Yes. So there we go. Are you doing anything for Valentine's Day?
We are getting together with my SIU gang. But the night before, I'm going to this. I can't remember the name of it. It's this Pizza Miko. It's supposed to be like a high demand pizza place. Kathy and I are going out on Friday night.
So you're doing a little date night?
We're doing a little date night on Friday.
Cool.
How about you?
We're doing double dates.
Oh.
We're doing a double date on Thursday, going over to our friends for dinner, and then we're going to go to the Den Theater for a comedy show. And then on Saturday, Valentine's Day itself, we're actually meeting up with my family. They're going to be in town. My great nephew is being baptized next Sunday.
Oh, that's
yes.
nice.
So there we are. So hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
There we go. And that's going to do it for us today. I want to thank all of our guests, Anthony Mosley and Darlene Jackson from Collaboration Theater. Make sure you check out Trial in the Delta, The Murder of Emmett Till, and Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss, who is running for Congress. So thank you so much for joining us. Devin, thank you for all the incredible stuff and all the troubleshooting you were doing. Paul, thank you so much for what you do. Ella Miller, have a wonderful Super Bowl
Thank
day.
you, Scott. Have a good day yourself.
Thank you. And I'm Scott Duff. And until next week, stay proud.